was not happy. He was like, no, that's so unfair, that's not cool. Let's talk about my motorcycle license. Before I went to get my motorcycle license, I had to take the knowledge exam. Did that once, did not pass. I did it a second time in town. I passed it and I was super pumped. They told me that I didn't really need to get my permit if I wanted to go in that Saturday to get my motorcycle license. And I was like, oh yeah, I'm definitely ready. Let's do it. I'm so ready to get my motorcycle license. I don't need to practice. And she was like, you sure? And I was like, yep, schedule me. I'll be here on Saturday. I'm taking the test. I'm getting my license. The night before that Saturday, I realized that I wasn't going to be taking my motorcycle license test on my dirt bike because it's not street legal. I couldn't take it on that. So Cole was like, you're taking it on my mystery bike. And I was like, what? I thought I was gonna take it on my bike, which I'm super comfortable riding and I'm not really scared to ride. And I was so ready for it. I was determined and I was like, I'm gonna pass this. This is simple. This is so easy because it was my bike. I'm so used to it. I'm comfortable and I love it. But I had to ride Cole's big power bike. First of all, that thing is huge. It's heavy to me. It's super powerful and loud. So just being on it is super intimidating. So I was just like, okay, I guess I'm gonna take it on this bike. So that morning, he put me on the bike and I took off. I have driven Cole's Honda, which is his big dirt bike. So I have a little version of my dirt bike and then he has the bigger version. And I have driven that before. Actually, the first day he got it, I convinced him and he let me somehow. I don't know how I convinced him, but I did. Anyway, so I had experience riding a bigger bike, but this bike was just so different. So I got on his bike and we took off. We drove about an hour to get to the test location. My appointment was scheduled at 9 o'clock and we got there about 5 minutes before 9 o'clock. So we get there and we're kind of practicing. We were aiming to get there an hour before the exam, but Cole got backtracked with a few things here on the farm that he had to help Daddy Cornstar get done. So we made it about 10 minutes before 9 o'clock. We kind of rode around the course. I was trying to get familiar with things. I was a little shaky, I was a little nervous, but I was like, all right, I got this. I was pretty confident. About 5 minutes later, the DOT lady drives out in her car. There's a few other motorcyclists out there ready to take their exam as well. Then Cole walks up to her and asks her if we're supposed to check me in or if I could just take the test there. And she said, no, you need to go to the office and check in. So we took off to the office. We had 5 minutes left. We got checked in, we came back, and I had this little slip of paper that the lady inside the DOT office told me to hand the lady outside. So I walk up to her and I'm so nice about it. I am not rude at all. I was really nice about it. She was talking to this other guy that was taking his test for a 3-wheeler. So I walk up to her and she looks at me as if she's like, what do you want? And I was like, is this where I'm supposed to take my test? Am I supposed to hand this to you? And she goes, you need to wait over there. She was really snappy with me and she kind of said it in a rude way. So I was like, okay. So I backed up and I went over there with Cole where I was previously at before she told me to go over there. She wasn't really clear with her instructions. I, in that moment, assumed she meant go over there where you were with Cole, but she meant clear across to the other side of the parking lot. I didn't realize that's what she meant. She could have been more clear, but okay, my mistake. I take the blame. Cole and I are just kind of waiting. As we're waiting, we're realizing we could probably ride around in the parking lot and get some more practice before I take the exam. So I start riding around. I'm practicing doing some curves, practicing doing a U-turn, just getting a little bit more comfortable before the exam. The lady finishes with the guy. She gets in her car and she starts to drive away. So Cole and I are like, well, what do we do now? We got on our bikes and we followed her and she drove to the other side of the parking lot.
Well, we were way down there at the other end of this big old parking lot.
We rode our bikes clear across the parking lot to the other side where there was 2 other motorcyclists, but we thought, which again, we shouldn't have assumed, but we thought they were just waiting for the guy since they were hanging out before the exam together. We literally followed her over there and she had just begun talking to the other guy who was gonna take his exam. So I didn't want to get yelled at again and I thought I was being respectful by just sitting there next to her, not even like 20 feet away from them, watching her give the other guy his motorcycle exam. They're sitting there, Cole's like pep talking me. He's like, you're gonna do it, you're gonna do great, you got this. I'm like sweating, super nervous, and I'm like, I don't know about this, but I was still confident. I was like, all right, we got this, we can do this. I'm gonna get my motorcycle license, this is gonna be good.
So Nave is getting ready to take her motorcycle driving test. How do you think you're gonna do?
I'm scared, but I think I'm gonna do okay.
We've been practicing in the parking lot for about 20 minutes or so. DMV lady's not being very nice, but that's just
okay.
them by nature.
I'm kind of nervous. He gets done taking the test, and the lady starts picking up her cones, and we're like, why is she picking them up? Okay, maybe she's gonna place them some other way, huh? She finishes picking them up, and she proceeds to her vehicle. At this point, I'm like, is she about to leave again? She's literally gonna walk away from us again. So Cole's like, Nave, go speak to her, go speak to her. And I was like, okay. So I walk up to her and I'm like, I'm here to take my test. Am I not testing today? She then looks at her watch and she says, oh, it's past 10. I can't test you anymore. And I was like, what? Literally my heart dropped because I was so excited to take this test. I was pumped, I was ready, and she said I wasn't gonna take it. So I was really sad. By that time, Cole was over, and I was like, I don't understand. I was gonna take the test. I had an appointment at 9. And she was like, nope, you came late. You were not ready. I didn't really know what you were doing. I was very respectful with the lady, and I said, but you did know what I was doing because I handed you the slip and you told me to wait over there. And she goes, I told you to wait on the other side of the parking lot. And I was like, I apologize. I'm sorry. That's my mistake. I misunderstood you. Your instructions weren't very clear, but I understand. I misunderstood. I should have asked. And she was like, sorry, you're not taking the test. Cole was like, she wasn't late. You were working with the other guy. The other motorcyclists weren't even started yet. So why can't she take the exam? She was like, well, I didn't know what she was doing. And I was like, but you did know what I was doing because I tried handing you the slip of paper. I asked you what I was supposed to do. And when we first got here, my boyfriend asked you if I needed to check in or if I could just stay out here. So you did know. She did know, you guys. Believe me, she knew. There's no way she didn't know I was there to take the test. We spoke to her. We interacted with her. She told me to wait over there. So she knew, but she was lying. And I was like, it's fine, it's whatever. Let's not fight with the lady. We're not here to argue. I'm not that type of person. So I was just like, I'll come next week. But Cole was not happy. He was like, no, that's so unfair. That's not cool. He's like, look, I'm not trying to pull any strings here, but we did drive about an hour away and we were here and we weren't late. So can she please just take the test, please? And she was like, well, let me talk to the ladies inside and make sure that there's time. We're just really booked today and there's not a lot of time. So let me ask. So we're like, okay, thank you so much. We really appreciate it. And we walk away and we go back and sit again, not even 20 feet from her. And I am just bummed. I'm sitting there and I'm like, we're not gonna take the exam. Great. Well guys, I might not take my test today. We're waiting to see if she's gonna let me take the test or not. She's kind of being difficult. And Cole is not happy. He's like, well, that's just not okay. That's really rude. She was rude to us since the minute we got here. I don't know what her deal is. And I was like, it's fine. It's whatever. It's okay. Let's just hope she lets me take the exam. So we're sitting there patiently. At this point, Cole and I are just kind of cooling off, just kind of hoping for the best. And then she comes over and she's like, sorry, it's too late. We don't have time. We don't have enough people. Literally in the time that she sat in her car talking to the ladies from inside the DOT, we could have taken the test because she was in there for like 10 to 15 minutes and it only took her like 10 minutes to test the other guy. So we could have finished, but that's okay. It's fine. It's fine. So we were like, all right, sounds good. I guess sign me up for the next exam in 2 weeks. Bummer. So she leaves and Cole and I just kind of sat there for a few minutes and we were like, well, what now?
Well, the lady said no. I'm a little salty right now.
And I'm sad. So Cole calls his mom and kind of tells her what happened and she was like, well, just call this lady, which is a family friend who was in charge of everyone at the DOT. Cole calls her and he explains what happened and she's like, that's not cool. That lady has actually been getting a lot of complaints lately. And we were like, good, because so it's not just us. And she was like, don't worry about it. I'm gonna send someone out. You'll get tested today. And we were like, whoa. Well, we didn't mean to pull any strings. It just kind of happened. So we waited a few minutes and then the lady came out. At this point though, you guys, when I first got there, I was super confident. But when all of this went down, my confidence level went from here to way down here just because I was really nervous because of everything that was going on. I'm not a fighter. I don't like to disagree with people or cause problems, so I was just really nervous the entire time. When this second lady comes out and she's ready to test me, I was already really nervous. But I was like, okay, I'm gonna try my best. So I start the test and I make it through the first course.
One.
And then I make it to the second one.
All right, hit the stop box. Come on. Wheel inside the box. Nope, too early. There you go. Good. That was the hardest one.
Guys, at this point, I am pumped. I actually did it. I didn't hit any cones. I stopped right in the stop box. I was super pumped. I was like, I got this. I can do this. I'm ready. Yes, I'm getting my license today. And then the third obstacle came. And this was the one I was having problems with before when we were practicing. I did end up getting it 4 times before the lady came out. So then I was like, okay, I got this. Now the trick with this one is I was supposed to be on the left side, but I was on the complete opposite side. I was on the right side. As soon as I positioned myself, I knew I was gonna fail this one just because I was parked on the right instead of on the left where I would have had more room to turn. So I kind of positioned myself for failure. And I knew it, but I didn't position myself thinking this was gonna happen.
Is that a geoprism? Oh my.
This is what I'm talking about. I got on the right side. There's no room to turn going from the right side unless you're a professional, but I'm not. I should have been on the left. So this right here is where I succeed and pass the test, right? Well, with my luck. Yeah, so that's an automatic fail. Guys, this story would have been so much cooler if the second lady would have came out and I would have passed my test and everything was a victory and everything went according to plan. But I didn't pass my test. I automatically failed after that third one, which was a bummer because I would have got the rest of them. But I'll get it next time. So yes, guys, I fell. But don't worry, I did not get hurt at all. I didn't even get a scratch on myself. I dropped the bike like 4 times already, and every single time I literally just hop off it and walk away from the fall. So I didn't get hurt. So don't worry. I did leave kind of bummed just because everything that went down from the moment we got there just wasn't going according to plan. And in the end, I ended up failing. So honestly, it kind of makes the story a little funny, doesn't it? For you guys, not for me. So we rode back to the farm and that was that. Remember guys, if you like this video, don't forget to give it a big thumbs up and don't forget to subscribe. If you're not subscribed yet, there's a little button down below. You know what to do. And click that bell notification. All that does is notify you when I post new videos so that you can stay updated. Don't worry, it's free. It does not cost any money, so hit that button down below. And leave a comment to let me know what you guys think. Well guys, I'll see you in the next video. Love you all so much. God bless.